part of what we have found out is that there has been very, very poor coordination between these organizations. The county government, as you know, out of the 2 sites that have collapsed, the county government has gone through the process, particularly the site in Kinoo, through the process of approval. We had the architectural and the structural engineer documents with us, and they were all approved. Unfortunately, we did not have other institutions involved after that approval, because we expect that the engineers board would be involved, the architectural body would be involved, NEMA would be involved, and each one of them, and NCA, each one of them would be taking a particular action to ensure that what has been approved is what is being done. Therefore, what was approved is not exactly what is being followed. And that is why we have met today, and we have agreed, first of all, that going forward, the county government will be liaising with all these institutions so that they will be giving their own approval, and they will be given an undertaking that they will go on and do inspection as the development of these structures is going on. So we have agreed to do that coordination. We are coming up with a one-stop shop where all of us will be coordinated, so that each one of these organizations are involved in ensuring safety, in ensuring that all the requirements are being met. There could be some other buildings out there that are risky, that probably we may need to do something. And we have agreed as a team to set up a multi-agency team that will meet on Wednesday. And from Thursday, the team will be moving around in the county in the 4 areas that are where there is a lot of development, and they'll be inspecting the buildings that are either complete or are coming up, and they'll be coming up with recommendations on what we need to do. They're also appealing to tenants to make sure that before they enter any building, whether apartment or flats, that there is a copy of occupation certificate that has been issued to confirm that that building is safe for human habitation. Because the worst that would have happened in any of those buildings is if they were complete, and then they collapse with tenants inside. So the onus is also on the tenants. Before you enter in a building, there is always that occupational certificate that is issued to show that the building has been put up in accordance with the requirements.
The CEO and Registrar of the Engineers Board of Kenya, and I'm also here representing the chairman and the board. So EBK regulates the engineering services in this country. And primarily, the collapse of these buildings is a structural engineering failure. And we have assured the governor that we are going to work with him. We have a good stock of professional engineers who are registered with the board, and we'll be able to look at the building and tell him what the problems are, and we are going to then come up with a solution together. We are very willing to work in a collaborative way, but I would like to just end by asking all the developers, kindly make sure that you engage professional engineers in the right disciplines. In this case, for buildings, we would want you to work with structural engineers, because you can see there's been a loss of life, there has been a loss of investment. We were trying to do just rough calculations, and we are looking at over 2 billion has been lost just in this year alone. So you try to save on the professional services, and we endanger the public, and you also lose the investment.
My name is Engineer Nathaniel Matalanga. I'm the president of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. I'd like to encourage all developers to ensure that we go through due process. The government has put in place rules and regulations that are supposed to be followed when you want to put up a building. Unfortunately, thinking that some of these processes are expensive, we tend to ignore them. And in this meeting today, we really appreciate the effort that has been made by the governor of Kiambu County to reach out to all the implementing institutions in the physical environment to ensure that we agree a process to stop this trend of collapsing buildings, not only in Kiambu County, but the governor has assured us, as he has indicated, that he's going to reach out to all the governors to come together to put in place a system that stops this occurrence of building. We'd also like to put up a system that wants to rectify whatever defective buildings are on the market. Kenya has a large stock of professionals. So if we are given a chance, we are able to stop this happening. And the rest of the region looks at us as a leading role. So we don't want news to go out that a building has collapsed in Kenya. It's a simple thing if we follow due process. It is doable. I assure the public that we are up to the task and we are going to give the governor and the country the support it needs to address this issue. But the engineers who submit drawings for approval carry on through and supervise the construction. And the law is very clear that if you submit drawings for approval and the developer disengages with you and starts constructing, you as an engineer, you are supposed to inform the county government and also the National Construction Authority that you are no longer involved in that project. And a stop notice will be issued. All the enforcement agencies who are in the meeting, that will now be enforced to ensure that the developer engages another professional engineer, duly registered, with a current certificate of practice